Yes, yes, yo. Merkules right there. And we got him on the line. What's good, brother?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Currently laying in my underwear in my hotel room right now on my bed, just enjoying life on my day off. How you feeling, man?
Feeling pretty good. The weather's nice outside. It's a bright day, and I finally got you on the line, man. So I'm feeling good about that. How's the tour going so far?
It's been great so far, man. It gets a little bit better every single time, so I'm definitely blessed to be in the position I'm in. I'm super hungover. That's probably the only complaint I could even think of right now, to be real with you. I'm just living life, man, one step at a time, bro. I'm happy that new record's finally out.
Yes, it has arrived. Scars, people out there, go and check it out. That single there is Heavy, Humble, produced by Sealance there, and I know you got a lot of his production on the album as well. Some other producers. Talk to the people a little bit about the album and you know how you feel about it being out now.
Basically, with this record, it's something that I put together. I got time to sit down and actually put my mind towards it, and actually put out a record with a beginning, a middle, and an end. Usually, I'd be in a position where I'd have to just throw something together for the sake of going on tour and needing something to push. But this time, I got to sit down and take my time. As far as production goes, we got Sealance on there. Shout out to him. Shout out to Vocab, Vanderslice, Aspect, D-Dog, Dirty Sample, Bo Beats. I think that's pretty much everybody as far as production goes. But yeah, shout out to everybody that was a part of the project. I'm really happy the way it turned out.
Word up. And you got some videos that you're releasing as well. I know you were talking about dropping something very soon, right?
Yeah, actually, I dropped a new video last night. It's Stewie Kubrick's also got production on there. I forgot to mention him. But yeah, the track that I dropped last night is a video for a single on the record. It's called On the Rocks. It's produced by Stewie, and then he also directed the video. I'm really stoked on that. We tried to get as weird as possible with that one, and I think we definitely achieved our goals in that sense. So, yeah, go check that out. It's called Merkules On the Rocks on the YouTube. Do your YouTubes, dog, you know what I mean?
Yes, we'll definitely get on that. I see you're creeping on the numbers up there, man. The last video is almost about to hit 2 million views. You know, there's so much online. Like anything that you drop, really, a lot of people are eating up. What do you think you can attribute to your success as far as like social media goes and getting your music out online and having the fans respond?
Honestly, I kind of have like a love and hate relationship with the social media, because at the same time, I know that being in the position that we're in, like being rappers and being musicians, whatever you want to call it, that the internet's definitely a good tool for us. I mean, that's at arm's reach that we can use to get out there and have other people in different places hear us. But I can't even front, like at the end of the day, sometimes I like to go out and like go to the record store and cop an album rather than just going and listening to it online. So I definitely have like a little bit of old school flavor as far as the fact that I would still like things to be that way, but it's also really dope that we have the internet now and that other people can just hear our stuff that way. And I'm just really blessed to have a solid team around me, you know what I mean? So with the whole Stomp Down thing, it's definitely a big factor because it's graffiti based and we got the rappers, DJs, producers, like all that stuff, right? So to have all that in one and to be able to all work as a team is definitely really dope.
For sure. And now you got the label is put together, Stealth Bomb Records, with you, Jacqueline, Snack, and Young Sin, right? And
yep.
And that's been going good. You guys have been releasing a lot of music as of late. I know you've got this album that's just released now, and Jacqueline just released her Gypsy Rose EP. We had her here in Guelph recently, and Snack's got a new album that I hear he's been talking about. So lots of stuff coming out from the camp. And you're on tour right now. You're going to be in Guelph here on Friday. Looking forward to that. You got you've been here every time Snack's been around. You were here last year doing your own solo tour. You're also going to be coming in, I believe, to get some ink work as well, right?
Yeah, man. Shout out to the homie Jay at Fountain Ink Tattoos. And just shout out to everybody that I'm on tour with, too, man. I got JD Era with me. I didn't even really know him. And then we talked online, did a joint. Now we're touring. Shout out to Mo Little. Shout out to Rhymestein. All these guys that are with me. Shout out to Verbal Kent. Shout out to everyone, man. I'm really blessed. But, yeah, we'll be in Guelph soon, man. And I'm excited to get a track in with you and keep it moving and do what we always do. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. That's what's up, man. Much respects to you. Looking forward to the show, and it's going to be a live one down at Big East. Come out, represent for hip hop that night, man. What's it been like just for yourself now? You know, you're a young MC. I gotta always remind the people that. How old are you right now?
I'm 22 years old. Man.
22 years old. You're basically making a living off doing music now, right? Touring around, and you're doing all across Canada right now as your second full solo tour. What's it like just being in that position now where you don't really have to stress too much? You can kind of well, I'm sure it's still hard work every day, but kind of coast with the momentum that you're building with the team that you're on, and the successes that you've made already. How does it feel just being in that position and looking at the future of where you're going next?
Sometimes it's kind of surreal. Like, sometimes it's hard for me to even grasp. Like, a lot of times I'll wake up in the morning and, like, say I had a crazy night the night before, and I'll wake up and I'll go to the lobby of the hotel to get water because I'm hungover, and then I'll just run into a random fan, and they're like, oh my God, man, it's Merkules. Like, sometimes I need to remind myself the position I'm in, because I've never, like, this is something that I've always wanted to do, and this is what I've wanted to base my life off of and around, and this is what I want to be my career, but sometimes it's hard for me to even really grasp that things are going so well, and obviously it's great that it is and stuff like that, but it's hard for me to even remember sometimes, and then, like, sometimes I'll get this little life will give me a little slap in the face, and I'll realize, like, holy crap, like, your dreams are actually coming true right now, and it's definitely awesome, man. And I tell everybody when I go on stage, when I do these shows, that if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be so high up on the iTunes charts, and I wouldn't be able to tour on my own. So to know that I can tour with these other guys, and that's my family, and to be able to do that, that's dope. But to know that I can come out here dolo and still get that same appreciation and that same love is unexplainable, man. It helps me sleep at night just knowing that I have that kind of like appreciation from all these kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it's killer. I've been so impressed to see your growth over the past few years. You know, me and you doing the shows for about 4 years now. From back then, you know, your first times touring around with Snack to where you're at now, being able to, like you say, go dolo and still have people come out and support. It's a beautiful thing. It's I think it's an inspiration for other artists around that kind of, you know, can get knocked down on the fact that, like, is this even something that's possible? I know a lot of independent artists get put in that position where they feel like, you know, can I even make a living off of this? Is this possible? It is, if you really take into consideration the people like you do, and like you say, when you're at these shows, connecting with them and making sure that they know the reason that you're there right now is because they're there supporting you. That's so key.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I mean too, right? Like, the thing is like, you could be on top of the world and have generate a large buzz and have a lot of people that are focused on what you do and that are fans of your work and your craft and your brand or your product. But at the same time, at the end of the day, the second that you let that get to your head is the second that you'll be on a steady decline. So I just try to count my blessings. I try to remind myself every day that I'm a human being just like everybody else, and just basically that, like, I just cross my fingers, and I know that the only way is up from here. I feel like I'm confident enough now to say in the interviews and stuff like that I will be doing this for the rest of my life, and I know that this is what I was meant to do. So that's definitely awesome. But yeah, it's just like to see all these kids. Like, I've been walking, like, sometimes I go to shows and people will, like, get worked up and start, like, crying that I'm right there in front of them and stuff like that, and it's just so crazy to me because I'm just like everybody else. But that's one thing that I always remember, and to never be satisfied. I say that every time, but the second you're satisfied with the position you're in and you don't feel like you have any new goals that you should achieve, then you're going to start to decline too. So I just work hard. I work so hard that I don't have enough time to really think about all the stressful stuff and all the negative stuff that can come with it. I just keep working and keep working. So I'm definitely happy to be here. And like I said, man, like, having a solid team is important. Like, having management now and having like, going on tour and, like, getting to the show and having a rider and stuff. Like, a lot of this stuff I'm not even used to, but I'm getting used to it for sure. You know what I'm saying?
Shout outs to Perry. I'm talking to him today. I just, like, text him, like, yo, could you give me a call? Because I just wanted to double check, because Verbal Kent's not going to be at the Guelph show, so I wanted to double check for hotels. And he gives me a call. He's in South Africa.
He's like, yo, I'm in South Africa right now, man. I only have like 5 minutes to talk, but let's get to the bottom of this.
That was a great one. You killed it. You got the Perry impression down.
Shout out to Perry for sure. Definitely big ups to Perry. That's my bro. He's another person that I need by my side, or I wouldn't be here. So much love to him too. We got to get those Talk to Perry shirts made pretty soon, man.
Talk to Perry. That's good. I like that. No, he's been instrumental in working with you guys and helping out with a lot of stuff. And he works hard. He's out there right now. He's like, man, I've been in 4 continents in the last 4 days. I'm like, you're crazy, bro. That jet lag is got to be killing you. One thing I wanted to talk to you about, though, your inspiration as far as getting your fans really understanding your story and what you're going through. One of the things that you've been mentioning now on your social media a lot in the last few months has been your weight. How some artists, and we've talked about this in the past on the show, how some artists have sat down with you and kind of let you know, like, yo, man, you can do something with your life. Try and get that under control so you don't end up like Big Pun or something like that. You know what I mean? So you can still keep going on. And I gotta say, congratulations to you, because I've been seeing the pictures and the videos, and I'm like, man, that dude definitely looks like he's been losing some weight. So tell the people a little bit about your story as far as that goes. How much pounds you've lost in the past a little bit through going through this, how you've done it, and what that's been like.
I'll start by saying that life's crazy sometimes, and sometimes you'll be unhappy and you won't even realize it. And then the second that you start to switch your act up and get your life together, you start to notice that how bad things really are. So looking back at pictures of the way I was, like now when I look back at those pictures, I don't even understand how I could live with myself at that point, because I was so big, and I went from, I think my peak was 350 or 360 pounds or something like that, and now I'm down to 240, 245. So it's definitely nice to know that I have the support from all my fans, because my slogan was always talking about bacon and stuff like that, and I always kind of promoted eating unhealthy and stuff like that, because there was a parody factor, there was kind of comedic, and people loved that, and I still do rep it. But at the end of the day, I was worried that when I made the change in my life to do something positive and get a little healthier, I was worried that I was going to lose a lot of the supporters that I have, because that's what they like so much about me. But then I realized that if that's all that a few people are going to like about me, and that's all they care about is the fact that I'm the big fat guy that's rapping about bacon all the time, then I don't need those people as fans, because they don't appreciate my music or appreciate me enough to even care about what I'm thinking and who I am as a person. So I never really was in a position where I was like, oh, I'm going to lose all these fans. I wasn't worried about it. I knew that I might, but yeah, it's just dope to know that didn't even happen, and all the people that were fans of me before are still fans of me now, and the new ones that I make, it's kind of cool, because the ones that are just becoming fans of me now get to look back and see what happened and see the difference and stuff like that. So it's awesome for sure, man. But yeah, it was definitely a hard thing. I was on a smoothie and chicken diet for a really long time there. All my friends are texting me right now because they're a bunch of reeds. But yeah, so I was on a smoothie, chicken and brown rice type thing, and I did that for a really long time. And obviously I still, if I'm on tour, it's kind of hard to keep up with a diet, because you're going from city to city and you don't really have a choice sometimes but to eat something that's not the best for you. But yeah, man, it was hard, but it was definitely one of the best decisions I've ever made. So
Yeah, no, it's good, man. It's inspiring to see, and that's a killer. Being on the road, every artist talks about it. It's so hard to eat healthy. A lot of times you just end up eating one meal, and it's like McDonald's or Harvey's or Wendy's or some sort of drive-through and quick meal that you can get while you're on the road. It's kind of it's hard, and you guys have been touring relentlessly. I seen the post that you put out the other night was you showed up in like Saskatoon or something, got inked, did the show, then drove 17 hours straight to go to Thunder Bay, I think it was, and then hit the stage right away and perform that night. And that kind of stuff takes a toll on your body.
Oh, it does, for sure, man. But I mean, like, luckily enough, I actually don't even really drive, so I haven't been actually physically been driving on this tour. So a lot of the time I will be trying to catch rest and stuff when we're doing these long drives. So shout out to Mo and RZ and Era, because they all take turns driving and stuff. But yeah, it does take a toll on me, man, and especially the situation I was in before when I was a way bigger dude and I was trying to get to do all these things. It was 10 times as harder. So now it doesn't take such a toll on my body because I've changed and I have I got more in shape and stuff. But yeah, it definitely still does, man. And I'm surprised nobody's tried to kill each other already on the road. But it's dope because everybody that we're with, we all get along really well, and there's really no animosity between any of us. So it's been good, man. But yeah, that was crazy. I got tattooed, and then after the tattoo, I was shooting a video while I was getting tattooed, and then we went and finished the video, did the show, and then after the show, shot more for the video. Came back to a hotel room that I maybe saw for 2 minutes, and then we jumped in a van, and then we jumped in the van, started driving towards Ontario. Took us 17 hours. We finally got to Ontario. We were worried we weren't going to make the show. It's crazy because I was supposed to shoot another video during the day, but it was impossible for me to get there that fast. So I got there, and then we did the show, and then I made that post, and then after that, we stayed up till 6 in the morning. I finally got a couple hours sleep. Then I woke up today and went out and I shot that video that I was supposed to do. So I actually ended up shooting 2 videos and doing all this crazy stuff. And then soon I'm coming to Guelph to get tattooed and then come see you and do a track. So we're always moving, man. I really feel like sometimes I don't really have time to just relax and think about life and do all the other stuff that regular people can do. But at the same time, like I said in that post, I wouldn't have it any other way than the way it is now. You know what I mean?
No, man, you're doing what you love. For sure. It's a blessing. Last week we didn't get a chance to talk because you were shooting the video then. So I want to talk a little bit about that and what your experience was like kicking it with Mark Emery. And for people who don't know who Mark is, let them know a little bit. I'm sure you are quite educated on who he is being on the West Coast.
I'm familiar with him for sure. I'd met him once or twice before when I was younger and stuff, but it was kind of cool because I did a shout out in a song. Like every year during the 420 event in Vancouver at the Art Gallery a few years ago, like every time that event came to town and that happened, me and a group I was in at the time called Suitable Ties would go down there and we'd make a song specifically for that, and then we'd go down there and we'd shoot the video. And it was like an annual thing that we did every year. And in one of the songs I said, free Mark Emery because of the unfortunate situation where he got put in prison when he definitely shouldn't have been and things were just a little bit out of whack. But when he was in jail, I said that in the song, and then his wife, Jody Emery, somehow heard the song, commented on her YouTube account, and commented and said thank you for the support. So that was the first time I really became familiar with them, on a personal level, and got to really talk to anybody from their whole campaign. But I was actually just at the Vapor Lounge there with my girlfriend because we were on vacation in Vancouver, and she hadn't came to Vancouver very much, so we always go to the Vapor Lounge. And then he just happened to walk in the room and see me, and we chopped it up and talked for a little bit, and that was pretty much that. But yeah, I definitely support everything that he's doing. He's trying to do something positive for the people that actually need marijuana in their life, and that it actually helps them and fixes certain problems that life puts in front of them. So I definitely have a spot in my heart for that whole campaign and what they're trying to do. So shout out to the Mark Emery and Jody Emery and everybody that's trying to do something positive for marijuana culture.
That's key. That's key right there. I just got introduced with a compassion center here in close to town, and the guy that was running it, same kind of thing. I didn't realize how passionate these people were about the power of cannabis and the effects of marijuana and how much it can really help. He was just telling me this one story about this girl who's in a wheelchair and pretty much paralyzed, she can't really do much, and can't really see, and she always gets stressed out and stuff like that. I forget what the condition is that she has, but it's she'll freak out if she doesn't have the medication, which is her marijuana. And it's not like it's the marijuana that gets you high. They use the CBD, not the THC. So she gets this super high CBD content stuff, and it gets boiled into a tea, and then she drinks it, and it's what basically helps her to be able to live and function as a human being. Whereas if she didn't have that, she'd be, going into having seizures, like he was saying, 15 to 17 seizures a day when she didn't have the medication. But now when she has it, no seizures at all.
Yeah, that's craziness, man. That really is. But the way I look at it is every negative has a positive, and marijuana has obviously been perceived in the spotlight as a negative thing to a lot of people, especially people from other generations that aren't from our generation. So to know that stories like that are out there and people know that these kind of things are actually a possibility, it helps put more of a positive light on the situation, and it makes people understand that, maybe this isn't so bad. And I mean, if you ask me, man, I'd rather... if somebody's at a party and they smoke a joint and drive, there's probably a lot less, if they were to drink and drive, that'd be different. But if they have just smoke a little bit of weed and jump in their car and drive home, there's a lot less likely for them to get in an accident or hurt somebody else or do anything like that. So I think it's great that it's been going like that. JD just said, what about if I do crack? That's a great question. When we get to Guelph, maybe we'll try to line that up and see what happens.
Hell no. Maybe dabs or something we could do. We got a new vape lounge here in Guelph, so I think we're going to go hit that up after the show. A little private vape dab party and stuff. That might be going down. No crack involved.
I know. I'm just playing, man.
I know JD is playing too. He's all about his Mary Jane. He's got tons of tracks all about it, so I know he smoked that good.
Aaron was just saying that if you don't want him to smoke crack, then you got to have a bag of trees ready when he gets there.
All right, done now.
Otherwise, he's going to have to resort to the bad stuff, you know what I mean?
Go and hit the streets.
He literally is pacing back and forth in the room right now. He's on one.
Scratching his neck and stuff, like... Look out, people. Look out. It's a dangerous world out there. Honestly, though, meth, all that kind of stuff, people...
Dead that.
Dead. It's not safe.
Yeah, no, on some real shit, all jokes aside, and all that other stuff, you don't need that in your life, man.
Well, I know you talk about that a lot in your music, too, is just like overcoming, drug addictions and different people that get put in those positions. And, it's a sad situation. But people, marijuana, that's what you can turn to. If you need something, you need anything of saving grace, smoke a joint and you're chill. You're not going to be starting any fights. You're not going to be having any riots. I mean, Baltimore, if you just smoked some more weed, like, really, I don't think y'all would be tripping out so much. I understand some wrong was done, but y'all need to smoke some weed, I think, and just chill out.
Yeah, man, and another thing, too, another way that I look at things is that when you look at the whole culture and everything, and it's like everybody has their thing. If you ask me, everybody's got their thing, whether it's their crutch or whatever it is that they do in their day, but they do it once a day and it makes them feel better. And if millions and millions of people just so happen to resort to the same thing when they feel in need and feel like they need to just chill out, or if they have an issue with their body or their health and it helps them, then what does that tell you? You know what I mean? There's a lot more positive than there is negative. Everybody's born with an opinion, I understand that, but at the end of the day, it's like facts and numbers are right in front of us that are telling us that it's not as bad as people perceive it. So
check the facts, people. Zero people have died from marijuana. I did hear, though, at the 420 rally out in Vancouver, there was some article that went out that like 63 people or something like that were admitted to the hospital from having too much edibles.
It was 59 people.
59.
And every single one of those people woke up the next day out of their coma. They ate a bag of chips, and then they went on.
They were exactly. It was just like a little stomach nausea and stuff like that, and they were perfectly fine after, like, just panicking and tripping out because they went a little bit too deep down the rabbit hole.
Well, that's what I mean. It's too much, right? Even Snack said in his old joint, he said too much of anything could make you an addict. So you don't got to take it that far. You don't got to try to smoke a whole pound in one sitting. You're not Superman. You're a human like the rest of us. Just remind yourself that. And it's good, though, because also the weather there, man. Like, it's hot and shit, and, like, it's hot and stuff. Sorry, my bad. And, yeah, and it's just like the weather doesn't help because everybody's really stoned and they're standing in the beating hot sun, and then they start to sweat, and it's just like it's a bad look. And, like, dude, I won't even front. When I was down there, man, I was there with my girl, and I'm walking through this crowd of 35,000 people. And I'm just, like, so stoned, and, like, all these people are like, oh my God, Merkules. I'm walking by people, and I can hear some dudes say to each other, like, oh, my God, that's Merk right there. And I just, like, you know what I mean? And it's just next level because it was, like, everything was in slow motion. I was getting approached so much, which is great. It's dope to know I have that support out there. But, I mean, just the state I was in and then mixing that with the summer, or not summer, but the heat and everything was just, it was a little overwhelming, man. So I got a spot in my heart for those guys, too, because it got real.
It got real. It got real. That's what's up. Oh, that's hilarious. Clouds of smoke in the air on 420. It's good to see.
Yeah, man.
It's good to see. And I see you on Instagram and Facebook and stuff. You randomly at shows, you run into somebody who'd be like, yo, I'm going to do a ribbon here for you. And then you tape it and they'll just be like smashing this massive dab. Like, how can you even do this?
Oh, yeah, that guy was crazy, man. Shout out to him. His whole campaign is called Dab Champs. So
insanity. That's what they do.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Death trap dabs.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Madness. Well, we'll get into it when you get to Guelph. Looking forward to connecting with you again, as always, here in Guelph on Friday. You're going to be down at Big E's, JD Era there. Shout-outs to the whole Stomp Down, Killer's family, Stealth Bomb Records, everybody that's involved in the behind-the-scenes in bringing you.
Shout out to you, man, because you're a very important mogul in your city's hip-hop scene. If it wasn't for you, a lot of these shows wouldn't be going down, and a lot of these artists wouldn't be there to represent. So big shout-out to you for that, man, 100%.
I appreciate that, man. I'm just doing what I love, and I love being able to have these shows happen and be able to bring you into the community and then watch what happens, because I know what's going to happen on Friday night. The fans are going to go crazy. It's going to be turned up. It's going to be a wild party, and I'm just happy to bring it and make it happen.
Yeah, man, for sure. And don't you got to remind these people not to sleep on you as an artist either. You may be a promoter and you may be doing all this other stuff, but you're also a LS MC, right? So shout out to you for that too, man. It's love. The respect is always mutual, man. Just remember that. You know what I mean? Stealth Bomb has a lot of love for everything you do. So
much respect, brother. I really appreciate that.
Respect, homie.
Word up. There you go, Merkules. Pretty much wrapping it up. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. You know, much respect. Shout-outs to you if you're listening in right now. If you want to hear songs on here, requests or anything like that, you want to request something, send me an email at robbieg.hiphopmusic@gmail.com, ROBBIEG.hiphopmusic@gmail.com. Like the Facebook page. We got it up now. It's Revolution Media, R-Evolution Media. Or wait, Revolution Radio. Revolution Media is the company. Revolution Radio. You can find it on Facebook, and give it a like there. Let us know. Post something on it or comment on our posts and let us know what you want to hear. I got to start asking y'all that critical question. What would you ask the artist if you were in the interview position? So maybe I should get more creative and I'll start posting on the Facebook page like, this is the next artist that is going to be on the show. What would you ask him if you had the chance to sit down, or ask her if you had the chance to sit down and talk to them? So, and that'll kind of I'll maybe pick one or two out of the list that, you know, are good, and I can ask the artist. I'm really not much into preparing for interviews. I just kind of like wing it and go along. There's like a few things that I kind of want to ask and kind of want to touch on, topics that I want to touch on with artists, and then the rest kind of just turns into banter and just conversation back and forth. I feel like that's the best way to do it and keep it natural and smooth and flowing back and forth. You know what I mean? But I'm always interested to hear what you guys think I should be asking them. So I'm going to start asking y'all what you want to know. Okay. Next week, I believe I've got Philly Moves on, and then I'm also going to be having an interview with Snack the Ripper very soon, next week or the week after that, before he does the dates here in Ontario. We've got 3 shows together. May 14th in London, May 15th here in Guelph, and the 16th in Barrie. We're also going to be in Toronto together for the CMW Canadian Music Week event at Nocturne on the 6th, I believe it is, of May. So come down and check that out. And he's also got a headlining show there at the Rock Pile the night after. So go and check him out there. Also, Nonfiction is performing in Toronto tomorrow night. If you don't know who Nonfiction is, go and check them out. Underground hip-hop group that are killer, real good hip-hop stuff. Like, if you're into boom bap or like any kind of just underground good hip-hop music, come out to the show. It's tomorrow night at the Rock Pile. I'm going to be rolling from Guelph, and I think there's only 2 homies that are rolling with me. So we got a couple spots. If you still want to get on board, just hit me up on Facebook or something. I'm open doors policy to anybody that really want to roll and just have a good time at a hip-hop show. That's what we're about. Just bring your own to roll, and we roll it. Oh, that's how we do it. All right. So I'm doing that tomorrow night. It'll be a good time. Once again, go and check out the Vape Lounge here in Guelph, DLR 420. It's downtown. It's opened up. The dude's real cool. So, and I'm going to finish this off with this video that I released last week called Smoke Up featuring Soliloquy. And that's it, yo. That's all that she wrote. You can go and check out the video online on YouTube, Smoke Up. CFRU 93.3 Revolution Radio. Thank you for listening. Tune in next week, 8 to 10 p.m.